Picture this. You're 8 years old and you witness something wrong. Your heart pounds. Your palms sweat. Do you speak? Or do you stay silent and carry that weight forever? In the next 10 minutes, we'll journey through 5 stages of life to discover how our relationship with truth and courage transforms from childhood wonder to elder wisdom. You'll learn why a child's honesty might be our purest form of bravery, how teenage rebellion connects to revolutionary truth-telling, and why an elder's final words about speaking up could change how you live today. But here's what might surprise you most. The stage where we're most afraid to speak truth isn't the one you think. As George Orwell warned us, in a time of universal deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act. Tonight, let's explore how that revolution begins in each of us across every season of life. A child stands before a broken vase, ceramic shards scattered like fallen stars. The adult world towers above, waiting for explanation. In this moment, something profound hangs in the balance. Truth arrives unfiltered through young lips. Children possess something we spend lifetimes trying to recover: the instinct to speak without calculating cost. Watch a 5-year-old at a family gathering. They'll announce that grandpa smells funny, that mommy looks tired, that the emperor indeed has no clothes. Innocence cuts through pretense like sunlight through shadow. We call it honesty, but it's more than that. It's truth in its most elemental form, unweighed by consequence, unfiltered by fear. The child doesn't speak because they're brave. They speak because silence hasn't yet learned to protect them. But even in childhood, we begin learning the weight of words. The first time a child's honest observation hurts someone they love, they discover truth's double edge. In that moment, speaking becomes a choice rather than an instinct. As Thomas Hobbes reminds us, hell is truth seen too late. For children, hell is often truth spoken too soon, too freely, too purely for a complicated world to handle. Yet this is where courage begins, not in the speaking, but in continuing to choose truth, even when we learn it can wound. The teenage heart burns with injustice, seeing clearly what adults have learned to blur. At 15, truth isn't just information. It's a weapon against hypocrisy, a banner for revolution. Young voices rise against inherited silence. Remember being 16, watching adults navigate obvious lies with polite smiles? The teenager sees the gap between what is said and what is done, and their whole being rebels against it. They speak up in classrooms, challenge authority, refuse to accept "because I said so" as sufficient truth. Fire meets fire in the clash between generations. This is where Socrates' wisdom begins to unfold. We must behold things as they are. We shall be pure and hold converse with the pure. Teenagers behold things as they are with startling clarity. They haven't yet learned to unsee, but teenage truth-telling often lacks precision. It's a sledgehammer when a scalpel is needed, passion without patience. The teenager knows what's wrong but hasn't yet learned how to make being right feel right to others. Here's the teenager's gift to speaking up. They show us that silence in the face of injustice is its own form of participation. Yet their challenge becomes learning what the child knew instinctively, that truth is precious, and precious things require careful handling. At 25, truth becomes currency in the marketplace of ambition. The young adult discovers that speaking up has professional consequences, relationship costs, social implications. Idealism meets the machinery of compromise. Picture the young professional in their first job, witnessing something unethical. The child would speak impulsively. The teenager would rebel dramatically. But the young adult calculates career trajectory, mortgage payments, family expectations. Truth becomes a chess move rather than a birthright. This is where Thomas Jefferson's wisdom cuts deep. Do you want to know who you are? Don't ask, act. Action will delineate and define you. The young adult is being defined by their choices: to speak or stay silent, to act or accommodate. They begin learning Abraham Lincoln's hard truth. The trouble with too many people is they believe the realm of truth always lies within their vision. The young adult's vision expands beyond self-interest, but hasn't yet encompassed community responsibility. The young adult's great lesson: speaking truth requires building the platform from which to be heard effectively. They learn strategy, timing, alliance building, tools that can serve truth or compromise it. But this is also where the deepest conflicts emerge between who they thought they'd become and who their choices are revealing them to be. At 45, truth transforms from personal principle to communal responsibility. The mature adult speaks not just for themselves, but for those who cannot speak. Individual voice becomes collective conscience. Now they understand Nadine Gordimer's wisdom. The truth is so precious that it should always be spoken with care. Care, not caution, not fear, but genuine care for the impact of words on wounded world. Truth-telling becomes truth-serving. The mature adult has learned Confucius's subtle teaching. The truth of life is often in what we do not say, but in what we fail to say. They recognize that silence can be its own statement, that not speaking up can speak volumes. This is when the anonymous wisdom rings clearest. To say nothing is saying something. You must denounce things you are against, or one might believe that you support things you really do not. The mature adult discovers that speaking truth isn't about being right. It's about being useful to something larger than themselves. They've experienced John Ortberg's paradox. The truth will set you free, but first it will make you miserable. They know the cost of truth-telling intimately, and they choose it anyway, because they've also tasted the deeper misery of complicity. Their words carry weight now, and they feel that responsibility, like gravity. At 70, truth becomes about what remains when everything else falls away. The elder speaks with the authority of approaching finality. Words become seeds planted for futures unseen. The elder has walked through Aldous Huxley's warning. Facts do not cease to exist because they are ignored. They've watched ignored truths return with compound interest, seen silence cost more than speaking ever could. Wisdom distills into essential elements. Now they understand Os Guinness's profound connection. Truth matters supremely because in the end, without truth, there is no freedom. Freedom, not just personal liberty, but the freedom of those who come after. The freedom of communities, of societies, of the human spirit itself. The elder embodies the final wisdom about speaking up. Speak up for those who can't speak for themselves. Fight for the rights of others, because one day you may need someone to speak up for you. The elder's gift. They speak truth with the urgency of limited time and the tenderness of infinite love. They return to something like the child's pure impulse, but now it's refined by decades of understanding consequence. They speak because they've learned, as John Hus taught, that some truths are worth defending, even to death. Not because death is glorious, but because some truths outlive the bodies that speak them. From child to elder, we see truth-telling transform from instinct to choice, to strategy, to responsibility, to legacy. But something remains constant, the fire that burns in each heart when faced with the choice between comfort and courage. George Orwell's Revolutionary Act isn't just about grand gestures. It's about the daily decision to let truth live through our voices, regardless of which life stage we occupy. Here's what you can do today. First, identify one truth you've been avoiding in relationship, work, or community. Second, consider not just what to say, but who you're saying it for. Third, remember that speaking up is a muscle. Start with smaller truths to build strength for larger ones. The child's honesty, the teenager's fire, the young adult's strategy, the mature adult's care, the elder's urgency. They all live within you right now. Truth-telling isn't about finding your voice. It's about choosing to use the voice you've always had. What truth is waiting for your courage? What silence is waiting to be broken? The fire is burning, friend. What will you feed it?